Sonia Brown MBE, and I'm here at the Jamaican High Commission, and we're covering the fantastic photographic exhibition of Journey of Champions. This is going to be a phenomenal evening where we talk to some amazing Jamaicans from both the diaspora and Jamaica itself, the High Commissioner. We have dignitaries, high-profile business people here celebrating as we showcase the best of Jamaican athletics. We have the Olympics 2012 coming up. We all know Usain Bolt is going to be there rocking it for Jamaica, but sometimes it's good to give all our other athletes an opportunity to just say thank you for the great work that you've done in promoting Jamaica in such a positive and enlightening way. It's going to be a fabulous evening, and I can't wait to share some of our exclusive interviews and behind the scene activities that's going to take place today. So I'll see you in there, or we're going to have a great time. Welcome, we're at the Journey of Champions launch, photographic launch with George Ruddock from GV Media, who is our host for tonight. George, tell us, why is this exhibition so important to the Jamaican community and community at large?
Well, it's a very historic year for us. It's 50 years of Jamaica's independence, 30 years of The Voice. But we thought that we would do something special, and we would, as this is the Olympic year, we thought we would go for Jamaica's athletic prowess through all these years. I mean, we have been doing this for so long, so yeah, that's why we are doing it. But I think there's some good challenges in there. I think Bolt, will really have a challenge to win it this year. I think Ewan Blake is coming, and Asafa, well, he started the season well, so you know he's building up towards that. But if I can just throw a little spanner in the works, I think we haven't seen much of the Americans yet, so we're just waiting to see how they...
Do they really exist anymore when it comes to track?
Well, you know, I think Mr. Gay, he's coming back. He's only run a couple of races so far in the season. But I think the Jamaicans are way ahead.
George Ruddock, thank you very much from GV Media. It's been a pleasure to interview. Take care. Company of the delightful new High Commissioner, Your Excellency. It is such a pleasure to be with you today. How have you found the evening?
Oh, it's been a wonderful evening. I said earlier on that when I looked at the exhibition, I felt goosebumps running up and down my spine.
Oh. And, you know, it's really wonderful because you're newly here, appointed here, and it's a great honour to have you as another woman. As everyone knows, I'm a great champion of the women, being the backbone of every country. What do you think are going to be your top 3 priorities for, you know, your residency in the UK?
Well, in addition to all of the policy issues and the diplomatic issues, we have to do a lot of work with the Jamaican diaspora, the Jamaican people who live in the UK, who came here from in the 1950s. But not just with that group, but with their children and their children's children. Mm-hmm. So there are many generations of Jamaicans who are here. Some of them have lost contact with Jamaica. I want to renew the contacts with the country. So that's one thing. The second thing that I want to do is to, you know, our Jamaican people send home remittances to Jamaica, and we're very glad that they do because it helps with the families that they have left back in Jamaica. But I want to open their eyes to the investment opportunities that exist in Jamaica. Not just to form new businesses, although there is that, but also to invest through our stock exchange and the junior stock exchange, for example, in businesses that already exist in Jamaica and that are successful. And the third thing that I want to do is to help with organizations such as GV Media and other media organizations to raise the level of consciousness of the British public about the contribution that Jamaicans have made to the development of this country, because we were invited here over 50 years ago to help to develop Britain after the war, and we have done it. You know, we Jamaicans have contributed in the health sector, in the education sector, in the transportation sector, in the telecommunications sector, in many, many areas. We have contributed to the building up of the United Kingdom. And I want our people to feel proud of it, but I want the people of the United Kingdom to recognize that contribution.
Wonderfully said. And I'd like to take this moment to say, how important is the Olympics 2012 for Jamaicans?
Well, I want to answer by saying, first of all, how important it is that Jamaica is involved in the Olympics for London, because every conversation around the Olympics is around how Jamaica is going to do. And if we were not in this Olympics, I don't know what it would be. So, having said that, it's important for us because we are a nation on the move, not just on the track, but otherwise. And we have a very good athletics program in Jamaica, and the Olympics is the highest arena to showcase what it is that we are doing.
And how significant has Usain Bolt been in terms of brand Jamaica?
Oh yes, there's no question about what he has done for the brand. There's no question about it at all. And of course, we see other people riding on that, on Usain Bolt. There's, you know, all over the UK, there are pictures of Usain Bolt. He is the drawing card for this Olympics, I make bold to say. But in terms of what he has done for Jamaica, it's been great. He's been such a positive image for us. I think that people will remember when Prince Harry came to Jamaica, and those images of Prince Harry and Usain Bolt together, and how positive that was for the country. So he has been a marvelous ambassador for Jamaica.
It's been a pleasure. You're absolutely beautiful. It's been a wonderful time. We're having a great time today at the event, and we're privileged to be able to have this precious moments with the High Commissioner, but she won't be getting away. You'll be seeing more of her on ViewNowTv. Thank you, High Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
And with me today, I have every teenage boy who ever loved Lovers Rock. I have his pin-up heartthrob here, the wonderful, hopelessly in love, Carol Thompson. So, Carol, how have you found today?
It's been a wonderful event. It's been very enlightening. A lot of beautiful people here tonight, you know, celebrating Jamaica's 50th and also the excellence of all the athletes. I think it's been a wonderful event, and I've had a good time.
Great. So, any memories? I mean, the last Olympics when Usain was running and we had the girls running on their track. Do you remember where you was, what you were doing?
I do. You know, I was in France, and I was at a friend's house in France, and I couldn't believe it. Everyone was just like mouths open and screaming, and it was just such a beautiful moment, wasn't it? It was a good moment, and I think everyone's got a lot of anticipation and excitement for this time round, because it doesn't matter whatever happens, Jamaica's still going to win. Yeah.
And how important do you think it is for Jamaica in the Olympics? Because, you know, there's lots of talk about the wonders, the benefits, etc. But do you think really Jamaica is rocking it this year?
I think they are in terms of the sport. Yeah, they are. They've trained hard, they've gone away, they've done the science, and they're ready, and they're coming to win. They're coming for gold. You know, so it's going to be good.
So I noticed they're doing all the celebrations, and I noticed, and again, an absence of our black British stars in terms of Lovers Rock, which is such a phenomenal movement, which we've loved and understand. I had the pinstripe skirt and the twin set. You know, I did my bit with the roll hairdo.
I've got a really wide following from all nationalities. I mean, it was one of those, Lovers Rock was a thing that just resonated with a lot of people from many different racial groups. And when I do my shows, I'm just always happy and blessed and amazed at how many people it reached, because when I was putting those records out, I didn't do any live shows really. So I never really met anybody, the people who bought the records. So it's kind of like now that I'm meeting everybody, and it's all love. It's just wonderful. It's just all.
I think we'd moved from the gram to the little portable radio record players.
we moved from that, and they're all on CD, and everyone's listening to it, and they're all coming out, and you know, a lot of people are ready to go out and listen to music again, and the kids are grown up or whatever, and they just want to hear music that they can relate to. So it's a really good time. So I'm really enjoying this renaissance, and it's good. It's good.
Okay, great. Carol Thompson, as always, beautiful. Beautiful in song, beautiful in spirit, and beautiful in
you too. And you keep up your good work.
Great. Thank you. Bye. I'm here with the wonderful Donna Spence, our resident comedian. Donna, how have you found tonight?
It's been good. It's been fun. It's been nice seeing everybody in one place, coming together as Jamaicans. Oh, we do have Rudolph Walker, the one Trinidadian, so we're grateful to have him here. But it's great watching the pictures, just seeing there's a book, at the Guinness Book of Jamaica. It looks great. It's fantastic. I'm glad that we can all come together for it. It's fantastic.
And it's a real positive evening. Champions not only representing Jamaica, but also all around the world, the globe. As I said, we've got Linford Christie. We're launching them to England with Tessa. How important is Olympics 2012 this year?
It's very important because it's going to be a landmark for England and for us as Jamaicans, or I'd like to say as black people in this country. I just hope that we do something positive with it. I pray that the young people understand from this and take something positive from it and do not do a riot. That's what I'm hoping for. But, you know, it's going to be a fantastic, fantastic time for England.
And also, it's important about, instilling some pride with our identity, don't you think so? So, what's some of the top 3 things we don't want them to do to disgrace Jamaica in 2012?
Please don't use those swear words that you love using because you don't understand them. Do not fight people on the street. And please don't try and do an imitation selling off the T-shirts. And I know how we are, silly little slush puppy, but, hold us up in high light because we come from far. Jamaicans are very proud people. So don't embarrass us is the only word I can say.
And do you think, have you come up with the new reggae dance for the Olympian champions? Because we know Bolt does his lightning bolt, but Donna Spence, I think that you've been the woman of creativity and innovation that you are. What's the new dance for the Olympics 2012?
Haven't made it up yet, but I will find one just before and I'll put it out on YouTube.
Well, I think this is your moment, darling. You're on ViewNowTv. I think that you should give us a little move and show us what you can do.
I would love to, Sonia, but the girdle might bust, so I'd like to just say no at this point, but I'll come back to you on it, definitely.
So watch ViewNowTv for this space, and you're going to launch your new Olympic 2012 dance.
I promise. ViewNowTv, I love you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Donna Spence. I am with one of the most dynamic, hard-working, outstanding black British women who I'm very privileged and proud to be interviewing. You all know her. She needs very little introduction. The wonderful Dawn Butler. Dawn, lovely to see you today. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. How have you found the exhibition?
It's great. Yeah. I mean, it's good that it's documented. And at this time, 2012, where Jamaica's celebrating 50 years since independence, it's about time that people kind of realize that we don't just come now. Do you mean that Jamaica has been leading in this field and other fields for many, many years? So it's wonderful just to see it documented and also seeing it embraced.
Do you think it's also a catalyst for all the other things, the other contributions we've made to the UK? Because, many of our youngsters have no inkling of the contribution that Jamaicans have made to the motherland.
Absolutely. And they also have no inkling of what it took in order for them to have what they have today. So what it took for them to be able to walk the streets freely, to, date who they like, to eat what they want, to be able to apply for whatever jobs they want, even though there's still problems. We're not in some post-racial era by any means, but it means that, the more doors are opened because of those that have gone before us. So, and you just have to remind, because sometimes I think people feel there's nothing, or the young people feel there's nothing to fight for.
Okay, so the question I'd like to ask you then, in terms of, how important is it for us to become more politically aware? I mean, we talk about sports, we talk about music, but what about our contribution in terms of politics?
Well, Exactly. I mean, I feel sometimes like I am just banging my head against a brick wall, because you say to people that everything matters. And, you know, when you think that the country is run by laws, well, then surely we need to be able to become more political so that we can engage and influence those laws. And if we don't do it, somebody else will do it for us. So you have to make the choice whether you want somebody to make the decision for you or whether you want to be a part of that decision-making process. So it's vital that we become more political, because if we don't, they have excuses for not doing what we need in order to progress. And so it's a real simple choice, but it's really, really hard because people don't register to vote because they don't want people to know their business. Do you know what I mean? They don't vote because they can't be bothered, because politicians are all the same and nothing matters and nothing changes. And to be honest, we just got to grow up. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I was the first black female ever MP ever to serve in a British government. And, you know, it didn't get big headlines. It didn't get, you know, and it's just like you have to fight to kind of get that recognition. If you like, I was the first Jamaican ever to be in a British government, you know, as soon as we're celebrating Jamaica. And, you know, actually the Jamaicans, now they find that, so the Jamaicans are now it's building momentum. But, you know, it's hard to get that sort of recognition. If we don't have it amongst our community, you know, other people are not really going to take it seriously.
And there's also that point about with the Windrush, you know, that it changed the face of modern Britain, and yet so many of the subsequent generations didn't realise the impact and the importance of those Jamaicans coming to this country.
Absolutely. And the Windrush generation, they were invited here. So they didn't just turn up, you know, they were invited here for a specific purpose, and that purpose was to help rebuild England after the war. And actually, England owes the Windrush generation a great debt. We owe them a great debt and gratitude, but they are owed a great debt for rebuilding this country so the country looks like what it looks like today. You wouldn't have the NHS in the state. You wouldn't have the railways, you wouldn't have the networks, you wouldn't have London transport, you wouldn't have anything working the way it's working now without the Windrush generation. And it's not just their labour that they brought to this country, but it's their state of mind and their work ethic. They brought a state of mind and work ethic that still now is superior to anything that happens now. Now
that the whole world will be, you know, Jamaica is now in the spotlight, the whole world, billions of people around the world will be looking at us because of the Olympics. How are we going to capitalise on that moment?
Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, because as you're talking about the empire, I mean, I remember sitting down and saying to my dad, you know, let's sing the national anthem together. And I started to sing Eternal Father, Best is Land. And my dad started to sing God Save the Queen. And he said, when he came over here, Jamaica wasn't independent. Yeah, and that was his national anthem. And we just cracked up laughing. But it just shows you, and the thing is what we need to do from this moment in time, because we've been given a unique opportunity. I mean, the independence is on the day where whoever wins, for, you know, gold, silver and bronze will be standing on the podium receiving their...
You know it's Jamaica. Come on, stop playing.
It's going to be...
It's going to be the Jamaican anthem.
Hear the national anthem being played. You know, and the thing is, that's going to be on that day. And I think it's a very special moment. And it's not just that moment, but it's the legacy. So it's what happens from here on in. So how do we make sure that business people, for instance, go back and invest in Jamaica? Because whereas in the developing countries, the developed countries go with the brain drain. So they take from the developing countries the best. And what we want to do is get those best to go back. So go back into Jamaica, invest in Jamaica. You know, because lots of people who are unappreciated here in terms of their talent, their business acumen, you know, their business ideas. And Jamaica's open. It's completely open to all of that. So what we need to do is make sure the doors are open, make sure that Jamaica government gives tax breaks to new businesses. And so people can go to Jamaica and start their business. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's great to have you on ViewNowTv. Dawn is one of the most hard-working women I know. We're going to get her back in Brent. I make no apology about this. They're suffering because they didn't go out and vote in time. So, Dawn, it's always a pleasure to work with you. I'm looking forward to seeing you regaining your seat, sitting back in Parliament where you belong, you know, and everything's for a lesson, but you're beautiful, shining, glowing, just being beautiful as you should be. And, you know, for women who want to get in politics, fantastic example. Dawn, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you.
And I'm in the company of the wonderful, sophisticated, polished Rudolph Walker. Rudolph, our honorary Jamaican today. How have you found the event?
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's great, you know, to be part of course, some of the athletes that I'm fully aware of, like the Arthur Wendt, who was a High Commissioner here many years ago. And of late we have, we have Usain Bolt, fantastic. And no, it's just tremendous that, you know, Jamaica can produce such fantastic athletes. But it's not just the athletes, you have the great icons like Pearl Prescott and Bob Marley, and you know the list is endless. And I think this is fantastic. And as a West Indian man, I say a West Indian man is just great to be able to, to celebrate that. And this is what we should be doing right across the Caribbean, not, celebrating our icons. And they should be pulling us all together.
How would you say Britain's changed since when you've come here the first day? How has it changed for you in terms of progression, empowerment, inspiration, the kind of words, the positive things about being on this side of the world?
There is a danger of being controversial. From where I stand as an actor, I still question the fact that we don't have an international star coming out of the UK. They all have to go to America to become what I should say internationally acclaimed. We have a very, very long way to go. I think at the moment we're just scratching the surface. And I still find it depressing. You've got to bear in mind that there are more people of African descent in the country at the moment, as compared to when I came over here in 1960. So if we saw one black actor on the screen in 1960, it's not surprising that we see 6 now, because the law of averages, there are more Afro-Caribbean people, but that is not to say that it's improved. When I see, 4 or 5 or 6 MPs in Parliament, this is not to say that it has really improved. It's just simply that there are more of us around. I would just like to see a greater representation, and I'd like to see it right at the top, not just, not just playing.
Okay, so my question to you is, what more can we do?
Well, I think number one, I think we need to support each other. I think this is one of our biggest problems that we have here. We see Usain Bolt, the fact remains, yes, he's a Jamaican, but all West Indians, all Afro-Caribbean people should be supporting him. It's just that lack of support each other, hence the reason why we are where we are today.
Recently launched quite a big project about empowering young people, haven't you?
Yes, I have. It's called Inter-School Rudolph Walker Inter-School Drama Competition between several schools at the moment in London, but it's going to go nationwide within the next year or two, and internationally within the next 3 years. There are schools in the Caribbean that are very interested in the project. And this is just to get kids off the street, if it's just 2 evenings a week or 1 evening a week, working in groups and writing, directing their own play.
Rudolph, it's been a pleasure interviewing you. Thank you very much for taking the time, and we look forward to watching you in your continued success. And you're now with ViewNowTv at Journey of Champions, and it's been a great evening. Thank you. Well, we have had a fantastic night tonight. It has been an inspirational journey as we've gone through the history of what has made great Jamaican athletes. What more can I say? It's been a portable exhibition that, as I said, highlighted the Journey of Champions, which is 50 years of Jamaican athletic excellence. Everybody knows Hussein and that bold move. I won't embarrass myself and do it now. Lots of people have tried tonight, very unsuccessfully. So we'll leave it to the champion himself to do it. It's been a great night. I want to look at some of our great icons that have been catalogued and celebrated by the Gleaner newspaper and The Voice. It's been a great journey. We have so much to be proud of. And if people think we just came one day gone, you're highly mistaken. Our history is catalogued. It's outlined. It just gets greater and greater when you look at the contributions we've made to sports, that when we come to the Olympics this year, We have so much greatness, so much history, so much to share with the world. It's been a phenomenal night. We've had great guests who have come here from the world of sport, entertainment, business, media, television. They've all been here to show their support and their pride in the 50 years of our athletics, Jamaican athletics. It's a great exhibition. You need to come here to have a look at it, to appreciate the greatness of the wonderful island called Jamaica, and look at just the great winners and sports people that we have unleashed onto the world, who have made a great contribution to the world of sport. It's been a phenomenal evening, great commentary, great speeches, great presentations, but most importantly, this evening has been dedicated to our heroes, the great athletes, and we have been privileged to show the journey of champions.